Now it's time for the next speaker, which is Victoria Chariavelli and MultiplanetaryX, preparing humans and AI for lunar leadership and resilience. She is the CEO of Emerging Technology Sweden. I think you are muted. You're muted, Victoria. Veronica, I mean. Veronica, you're muted.
Hello. Yes, sorry. Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm happy to be here. Thank you to the Moose Society for this opportunity. A little bit about me. My name is Veronica Chariavelli. I'm the founder, CEO, and CRO at Emerging Technology Sweden. I'm based in Stockholm. I work remotely. I'm a solopreneur, no team here, multitasking all the time. I'm super interested in space, and I'm working with innovation, research, education, human-robot interaction, space psychology, and high-stakes leadership. I'm currently doing the second analog astronaut training at Habitat Marte, and this is organized by Julio Resende. I created a MultiplanetaryX metaverse space with the platform created by Virtway. I just redesigned it, and it has 2 floors and holograms. And one room is for the moon, another one is for Mars, etc. And there I hold meetings, like with people from the board of directors from the Moon Society, and also a book club with exponential entrepreneurs. And now I'm going to be having like one-on-one meetings with potential customers, and also I'm going to hold trainings there. Let's see now. Okay, so humanity has sent rovers and probes, but now it's time for female astronauts and human AI teams to colonize the moon, Mars, and beyond. Now, there's a lot of focus on the manufacturing part, but I think that the leadership part is super important. And we see that we live in a world where we have crises all around the globe. And it's very hard for the leaders to manage the situation. They're under a lot of pressure. They have to make decisions and be very diplomatic, etc. Now, if we put this on the moon, it's going to be even more difficult, because we have probably a war coming up, right, where it's accelerating towards World War III. And so we got to be ready, and we got to be ready with good leadership skills, and it's high stakes leadership. In this case, it's crisis management, and also a change in the mindset to an exponential mindset instead, because we humans think linearly. But we live in an exponential world where technology is accelerating all the time. And so maybe we think that something's going to happen in 10 to 12 years, but it happens in like maybe 2 years, right? And this is the case of AI. And we have seen it with ChatGPT, how it entered the market and it disrupted all the industries, right? And so we got to be ready with that. And so this is the focus with my MULP program. I'm going to be teaching leadership, among other things. And it's a metaverse space where you get to choose your avatar, and you can interact, and you have like an office and pictures of the moon. And it's very, very nice. And you don't need any special equipment. It's the same thing as we're doing now with this screen, the same thing. but you have an avatar in that case. Why the moon? Why now? Lunar urgency, vision, opportunity. Yeah. Well, we have the strategic geopolitical urgency, right? We have well, the modern space race, and we have other problems, right? Now I saw that Elon Musk is working on the Alpha moon habitat or something like that. And I think that's going to create opportunities and growth, also acceleration on the moon. So I think this is going to pick up pace. It's going to be good for us. But that the changes should start here on Earth. Okay. Yeah, well, then we have some things going on, like NASA's Artemis program that is in full swing. We have Artemis 2, 3, the Gateway Station in lunar orbit, operational by 2028, sustained lunar habitation targeted by 2028 to act as a stepping stone to Mars, right? Now, what I'm introducing here is a new analog astronaut program here on Earth that's going to be partly online to start with, in the metaverse, and then it's going to move towards a hybrid program where I'm going to have at least one robot dog that's going to interact with us. And in that way, I'm going to get people ready to interact with robot systems. And so I had a meeting with a Chinese company to discuss this. And it's the famous Unitree robot dog. And they have three. They have the common one, the pro one, and the one for education. The cheapest one is the 2, right? And then comes the pro, then comes the other one. Now the cheapest one, it has like a joystick. You can, move it, and it has lidar, so you see where it's going. The second one, the Pro, that costs about $3,000. That one you have to program, right? And it's very sensitive. They told me that if the videos show you running near the robot dog, and it's following you, and so I was thinking it can be good for training, right? But they said that it's very sensitive. Like if you move towards the left, it can move a lot towards the left. So it's very sensitive. And so I was doing research on the possibilities if it can be used for this program, to teach analog astronauts here on Earth. And another possibility also is to record what we experience. We do all the drills, and in that way we practice how, for example, going into a part of the station where maybe you can send the dog there and see maybe a person lying on the ground, it's not feeling well, and then you can see what's happening and you can interact with that person via voice, right? Another way we can use robot dogs is that some of them can carry heavy stuff, right? And so that's another thing we can do. Here, the moon provides a realistic close proximity test bed for deep space operations, where living and working days from Earth builds crucial psychological resilience and systems reliability before Mars missions. So space psychology is super important. And I see that this is going to become more important because now we're going to send astronauts that are going to be stationed there on the moon. They're not just going there and coming back. They're going to be there working. And so I think that there's going to be a need for space psychology. I mean, they're going to be under a lot of stress. They're going to be there for a long time, isolated from their families, right? And so I see a future where we will be working remotely. Some people will be here on Earth, others will be on the moon. And with Elon Musk, I see that communications will be better, right? So the connectivity will improve. And I see an acceleration in the space industry, but what I do not see is, for example, collaboration. Collaboration between companies and solopreneurs, or startups and solopreneurs. Let's see. This is one thing. Well, there's a scientific and economic opportunity on the moon now. We have the lunar south pole. It's rich in water ice, helium-3, and rare earth elements, all of which enable in situ resource utilization, ISRU, for habitat building, fuel production, and off-earth economy. And ISRU and on-site manufacturing catalyze sustainable infrastructure and long-duration operations essential for real-world resilience training in MELT. Yeah, so one of the things that I'm also going to train in the metaverse is resilience. For example, I'm going to teach what other astronauts have gone through, all the experience that they have shared from their missions, right? And then there's going to be quizzes, and we're gonna do simulations. Yeah. Well, we need to start now working on the moon, right? Like, for example, what we need right now is to go from a war-based economy to a space-based economy. And this is important because through the years, we have been, like, for example, destroying and reconstructing. And we cannot go on like this because we are destroying the Earth, and the weapons are have more power, the more dangerous. And so millions of people are dying. And this is the urgency right now, that we have to move from that model, that the war should not be seen as a way of making money, by corporations, governments, whatever. That we should find a human-centric approach here, and start creating, for example, jobs, new titles. And for this, we need to talk to each other, build a community and talk and see where are the gaps, and then bring in ideas. And for this, we don't only need engineers, right? Now, space is for everyone. It's new space now, so it's more commercial. Now, companies are included. Before it was just NASA, for example. But now we have companies, startups, etc. And so what we need right now is to raise awareness about this, that we have to build this space economy. And then also, if you look at the reports, you see that it's $1 trillion industry. Yeah, it's $1 trillion industry, but how come we're not taking steps right now, right? And so what I see is that startups have to be more active. It's, for example, it has to go beyond just advertising about the products. They have to be looking for partnerships. And if they have research opportunities, being more open about this, right? And I reached out to a Swedish company called Intuicell that has a robot dog that works in a very different way than the robot dog from Unitree. This one has more to do with neuroscience, and it learns like a baby. You have to train it so it learns how to walk. And so what they are doing right now is they are looking for robot dog trainers, real dog trainers, to train their robot dog. And I thought this was very innovative. And I also see it as an opportunity that this is a job that we can have in the near future. Robot dog trainers, people that train these robot dogs, right? Now we have the robot revolution coming up. So we got to get ready. Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, so most lunar programs emphasize engineering and resource extraction, but overlook emotional and leadership preparedness, include missions, right? So we need to train people for AI human interaction, right? Now, we also have a lot of comments about super intelligence. A lot of people are asking, when is this going to arrive? And I found two very important videos that I share in my slides. And one is called The Empire of AI. And the other one is from Nick Bostrom, I think. He's an expert regarding AI. So we got to pay attention to this. And it starts here on Earth. So what's missing? Slow transition to trustworthy autonomy. While robotics are deployed in orbit and surface tasks, true sentient collaboration where humans and AI evolve trust remains out of reach. So I see a future like, for example, in Star Trek, well, we see Data, the humanoid robot, which is sentient, traveling together with us to other planets. And that's possible. Why not? I see a tremendous acceleration in robotics, especially in China and also in Japan. And so I think that especially Europe has to step it up regarding robotics, and that it can bring a lot of solutions. But my way to approach this is that we keep humans in the loop, that we find a way to, for example, create new jobs where both humans and robots can work together as a team, right? They collaborate with each other. But it takes time to get used to working with these robots, right? For some people, they might be scared. So there's a phase where you have to go through adaptation. Okay, so AI and robotics, through smart habitat synergy, technologies are intersecting rapidly. Yeah, this is what we're having right now. We have converging technologies, right? AI algorithms, edge computing, robotics, and 3D printing combine to enable fully autonomous infrastructure built on the moon and beyond. There's a very interesting book about this. It's written by Peter Diamandis. I think it's called The Future is Here. That's a very good book because it talks a lot about converging technologies, and even about some experiments that they have done with mice to prolong their life. And they have been very successful in that. Okay, exponential convergence, the force accelerating change, commercialization and modular ecosystems, initiatives like ESA's Moonlight Telecommunication Systems and DARPA's Modular Infrastructure Consortia. So we have all this happening right now. These are changes. AI feedback loops and acceleration, emerging reinforcement learning systems, and autonomous decision-making models create feedback loops that double capability rapidly, mirroring the AI accelerated growth seen in terrestrial robotics and finance. So MELP is about disruption. MELP is my program. So here we look at the things that are missing, right? The gaps. so as to be more resilient once we get on the moon, or even if we choose to work here on Earth, right? With simulations, for example, Leica is my prototype. I designed a robot dog and a humanoid robot. Okay, so the idea is to later on build a robot, but the first phase is going to be working with robots that are already out in the market or are about to be launched, right? So by integrating robotics and emotional HRI into resilience and decision-making training, MELP shapes sentient co-explorers, the next class of lunar leaders. So this is about the next generation of HRI and lunar leaders. Okay, Orion is the humanoid robot. Leica is the doggy. Okay, so there are some robots out there that one can look at for inspiration, like Hangbot Sirius. I added some information here. It has AI-powered recognition, adaptive personalities, gesture response, and so on. Then the Sony Eyeball. I'm going a little bit fast because it's a very long presentation. It's past 100 pages. And then we have the Unitree that everybody knows, right? And I like this one because it's not so expensive, actually. Yeah. Leica, that's my dog, robot dog, would blend emotional responsiveness like Sirius and Aibo with the mobility and terrain awareness of Go1 antibiotics models. Now, so here are some ideas here. Leica protocol uses real-time physiological interaction, heart rate, alerts, gestures, expressive feedback. So the idea here is a robot dog that trains with you, like you're running and it's running with you, but it can also like sense if you're sick, it can alert you about things. And this is useful because if you have a pandemic, right, inside the station, if you have some kind of problem like that, we know that there are only very small teams, right? And so you don't have enough personnel. And in the case of a pandemic, for example, you have to restrict yourself to a very small environment. And so the robot, if it's, for example, humanoid robot, it can go from one station to the other and take things, carry things, right? And if it's a robot dog that can sense things, it can tell you a lot about how you're doing, your body, your temperature, etc. It can also be a companion. So this is also good psychologically, emotionally. And then I'm thinking about the plants that you grow on the moon, that also maybe you can have a humanoid robot that you can teach to take care of the plants in case you're sick, you're not feeling well, you had an accident, whatever. And it can help you with those tasks. Now, we're not talking about robots that take over people. No, we're talking about robots that are there only for collaboration purposes. Emotion-driven human-robot interaction for analog missions, right? So this is one I'm training, analog missions. Emotional support and bonding, robots like Sirius and Aibo illustrate how emotional attachment, bidirectional feedback, and personalization create trust. Leica builds on this in high-stress simulations. Terrain sensing companion, pair sensory agility from Go1-like systems with expressive response to airify terrain hazards and collaborative decision-making in mission rehearsal. Yeah, Well, here we have some more information. We can do crisis drill. Here's
Five
our
minutes
patient.
left.
Oh, okay. Okay, hurry up. Okay, so this is the future that I'm building here. You can train these robots, customize them. So I added some information later on. For example, opportunities for collaboration with me. I'm looking for partnerships. I did reach out to Intricel. I'm waiting for an answer. And so you can reach out to me via LinkedIn. Let's see. Yeah, so do you have any questions? Any questions here?
Yes. Are you aware of the recently emerging Kardashev robots, open source frames?
No, that's interesting. I would like to know more information about that.
I'll send you a link. They're pretty terrific.
Okay, great. My next step is to contact NVIDIA regarding their very cute robot. And they show a video where you see the robot on a place that looks like Mars, right? So I think that they have some connection there. They're thinking about using it in space. So I'm going to reach out to them. And I know that they have some open source platform. I'm going to see how much it costs, when they're going to launch it, and if there are opportunities for collaboration. And I think that we also have to think about youngsters and the future. If people settle on the moon, they have babies, kids, we have to think about their education, right? And I think the robot from NVIDIA is just perfect for that.
Frida?
Yeah, I have a question. I'm kind of assuming that the staff that would be on the human beings who would be on the moon or on Mars would have access to the complete web, that they would have access to, I do a lot of literature searches on the computer, which in a sense gives me access to a lot of the research that's been done on lots of things. And I assume that the humans on the moon would have access to the full web, including artificial intelligence?
Well, what I know is that there's like a delay in communication, right? And this is what the missions go through when they send their robotic missions, right? There's a delay. That I know. But I also know from very recently that Elon Musk is building a habitat there called Alpha. It's a station habitat. And I saw pictures of it. So I think that the communications will improve. So the situation that we have now is going to be very different from what's on the way. And I'm also interested in
At
this.
least, so new capabilities should be better, but I mean, we shouldn't lose what we already have.
No, I don't think we should lose what we already have. What do you mean specifically?
Well, I mean, when I sit in my office at the university or sitting here at home and have access to the computer, I assume that the people who are staffing a lunar station or a Martian station, even if there's a delay, will have access to all of the material that's available on the web.
Yeah, I
Make
think so.
assumption?
Yeah, I think so. I haven't been on the moon, and but that's a good question. I'm gonna ask my teacher Julio Resende, who knows more about these things. So please, if you have more questions, reach out to me, send them to me, and I'll ask Julio about this specifically. And keep an eye open for Elon Musk's work on the moon.
Okay, thank you.